other special family and friends. To all distinguished guests, hospital staff, ladies and gentlemen, I am Chief Turgeon, and I'll be your master of ceremony for this event. I am delighted to welcome you to today's change of command ceremony, during which Captain Jeremy Pyles will be relieved by Captain Selena Brown. We will also celebrate Captain Pyles' 31 years of honorable and dedicated service, as today marks his retirement from the Naval Service. The United States Navy's change of command ceremony is unique among the armed forces. This time-honored tradition has no equal, where it symbolizes the continuity of total authority, full responsibility, and complete accountability transferred from one officer to another. Bosun, post the sideways.
Post the sideways high. Sideways. Left hand, hook. Left full right. Face.
Will the guests please rise for the arrival of the official party? Remain standing with the parade of colors and the playing of the national anthem and the invocation. Time order. Strike 4 bells. Captain, Dental Corps, United States Navy, arriving. Time order. Strike 4 bells. Commanding officer, Expeditionary Medical Facility, 150 Mile, United States Navy, arriving. Time order. Strike 4 bells. Commander, Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command Jacksonville, and Director, Naval Hospital Jacksonville, arriving. Color Guard, parade the colors.
Color Guard, attention, forward march. Mark time. March. Left turn. March. Ready. Halt. Present. Arms.
Color Guard, retire the colors.
Color Guard, shoulder, arms. Mark time, march. Right turn, march. Forward, march.
Chaplain Underdown will now offer the invocation.
Please join me in a word of prayer. Almighty God, as we gather this morning, we give you thanks for the many blessings that you have provided to us. And we come with deep gratitude for family, for friends, for loved ones, and for placing leaders before us who seek to embody the spirit of service and of care. Although things in life change and leaders come and go, your presence, O God, remains. This morning we lift our thanks and our gratitude for the leadership, for the guidance from Captain Jeremy Pyles, and we also celebrate together his 31 years of service. And, oh God, we pray for your continued blessings upon him and his family as they enter this new chapter. Oh God, we also ask your presence to rest upon us and also rest upon and direct Captain Cecilia Brown as she returns here to Naval Hospital Jackson and assumes her new role as the EMF Mike Commanding Officer. God, grant her clarity and vision, wisdom, patience, and strength in this new charge. And may all of us, O God, take moments of pause today to reflect on the past, be ever mindful of the present, and hopeful for the future. For these things we ask in your holy and most gracious name. Amen.
Will the guests please be seated? Post to sideways.
Post sideways out. Sideways. Post.
Today, Captain Jeremy Pyles, Medical Service Corps, United States Navy, will transition and relinquish the authority of command to Captain Cecilia Brown, Devil Corps, United States Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the presiding officer of today's ceremony, Captain Craig Malloy, Commander, Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command Jacksonville, and Director, Naval Hospital Jacksonville.
Well, good morning. Good morning, sir. What a day. To our distinguished guests, fellow commanding officers, family, friends, the crew of EMF Mike and NMRTC Jacksonville, welcome. And thank you for joining us today for this time-honored military tradition. Today is a profoundly special occasion as we gather not only to witness the transfer of authority for EMF Mike, but also to celebrate the distinguished career and well-earned retirement of Captain Jeremy Pyles. A change of command is a cornerstone of our naval tradition. It represents the absolute transfer of authority, responsibility, and accountability from one officer to another. It is a seamless transition that ensures the continuity of our mission and the unwavering readiness of our forces. But today, again, we are also here to mark the culmination of 31 years of dedicated, honourable service to the United States. Captain Pyles, your tenure as the commanding officer of Expeditionary Medical Facility Mike has been marked by exceptional leadership and steadfast resolve. Under your command, this team has achieved success of our quarterly XMed sustainment training, leading the way with leveraging alternate platform assignments to improve the overall deployability of the EMF, and increasing KSA submission compliance from a low of 3% to over 90%. Thank you. You have fostered a culture of excellence, taking care of your people while relentlessly executing the mission. Your sailors, officers are better for having served under your guidance. Navy medicine is better off for the relationship that you and I have forged between the NMRTC and the EMF. I am very grateful for your efforts both on a personal and professional level. Yet your impact extends far beyond your time at this command. For over 3 decades, you have stood the watch. From your early days as an advanced lab technician in Key West to junior officer tours in Yokosuka, you have excelled in everything that you have done. Recruiting tours in New Orleans, a stint with the Naval Medical Inspector General shows the absolute diversity of what you have brought to the fight. Operational tours in Afghanistan and 4 consecutive milestone assignments reflect the drive and commitment of the very best we have in Navy medicine. You have operated in complex environments, faced extraordinary challenges, and led with integrity. Now I will say, as Captain Pyles has only afforded me one opportunity to speak in these proceedings, I feel compelled that I share a couple of stories given to me by his good friend and fellow retired naval officer, Chris Stover. Lizette is cringing. Apparently, Jeremy was an enlisted sailor assigned in Key West and living on a very limited budget. If you've ever been in Key West, it's an expensive place. And even 31 years ago, it was apparently quite expensive. And apparently you were driving quite the beater of a car at the time. He met Lizette in Key West and she was working at a local bank at the time. Jeremy went to see her, to ask her out. Her co-workers saw him coming. They had heard about him, but they saw him coming, and they saw the car. And apparently, as the story goes, Lizette was hiding under a desk. She was so embarrassed. But his charm, his persistence, paid off. And they married at the local courthouse after 2 weeks of dating. You are something else. 2 weeks. Wow. Now, 27 plus years later, they are still happily married with 2 wonderful sons and are going back to live in Key West, where it all started. A beautiful full circle moment and a fitting way to end his naval career. I just have one more story. Back when Chris Stover and you were assigned to Navy Recruiting District New Orleans, circa around 2004, they had attended a military ball in full dress uniform, looking really sharp. Anyhow, after the event, they went down to the French Quarter, still in full uniform. After a while, Jeremy Pyles disappeared, and they couldn't find him. And they were worried, and they searched and searched, yet they couldn't find him. Turns out that our little wannabe troubadour snuck off to the world-famous Cat's Meow, voted best karaoke bar in the world. It was on Bourbon Street, and there he found himself singing, putting his singing skills to the test of a bunch of overserved tourists. Bear in mind, he was in dress uniform, but by the end of the night, approximately around 2 in the morning, he was only wearing about half of it. His song of choice, you may ask? Hootie and the Blowfish, Only Want to Be With You. His singing career officially took off after that night, and I'm sure he will soon be crooning at Captain Tony's saloon in Key West. That's right. Once he's officially retired. And please do not wear your dress blue uniform. To the crew of EMF Mike, you have performed brilliantly under Captain Pyles' leadership, and I know you will extend that same dedication and professionalism to the incoming commanding officer, Captain Brown. Captain Brown, to you and your family, welcome aboard. It's great to have you. Your career of sustained superior performance now culminates in you achieving command. You are inheriting a phenomenal team that is renowned across Navy medicine as the best EMF NMRTC combo. We will continue in that vein. I have the utmost confidence in your ability to lead this command into its next chapter and execute the critical missions ahead, which are only becoming more complex as time goes by. I look forward to working with you during my remaining time here in Jacksonville. As we reflect on Captain Pyles' career, we must also acknowledge that no officer serves alone. To the Pyles family, to Lizette, your wife of almost 28 years, and to your sons, Zachary and Nolan, thank you. You have endured the long deployments, the missed holidays, and the constant relocations. You have been the anchor that allowed your husband and your father to serve our nation. Today is your celebration just as much as it is his, and the United States owes you a deep debt of gratitude. Captain Pyles, as you relinquish command and prepare to step ashore for the final time, you leave behind a legacy of professionalism, mentorship, and unwavering devotion to duty. You have left the service better than you found it. On behalf of the grateful nation, thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your leadership. Congratulations on a magnificent career. We wish you, Lizette, and your family the very, very best. Fair winds and following seas, Captain. We have to watch.
Thank you, Captain Fuller. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Jeremy Pyles will now read his orders. Attention to orders.
From Commander Navy Personnel Command 2, Captain Jeremy Sean Pyles, Medical Service Corps, United States Navy. Subject, Buford's Order number 3295. When directed by reporting senior detached in June 2026 as Commanding Officer EMF 150 Mike, and proceed to Key West, Florida.
Captain Brown will now read her orders.
Commander, Navy Personnel Command. To Captain Cecilia Millicent Brown, Dental Corps, United States Navy. Buford's Order number 0626. When directed by reporting senior, report in June of 2026 as the commanding officer of EMF Mike 150.
Malloy, I be proper lead commanding officer.
Captain Lloyd, I appear to assume the duties as the commanding officer of EMF Mike 150.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Congratulations.
At this time, Captain Brown's son, Tamara Brown, in place of her husband, will place her command pin symbolizing her current designation as commanding officer. Ladies and gentlemen,
Captain Lloyd, Captain Pyles, distinguished guests, leaders, shipmates, family members, and friends. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the assumption of command of Expeditionary Medical Facility 150 Mike. First, I want to thank God for his continued guidance, grace, and blessings throughout my life and my career. I am truly humbled and honored to stand before you and assume command of this exceptional organization. I am grateful to the leaders who have entrusted me with this responsibility. I recognize the significance of this opportunity and accept it with humility, gratitude, and a deep commitment to the sailors and the mission of EMF 150 Mike. I would like this time to recognize Captain Pyles for his outstanding leadership over the past 2 years. Captain Pyles, thank you for your dedication, your vision, and your unwavering commitment to readiness and operational excellence. Because of your leadership, this command is well positioned for continued success, and I am honored to build upon the strong foundation you have established. To the sailors of EMF Mike, thank you for all that you do. Your professionalism, your commitment, and readiness make this command successful every day. I am honored to serve alongside you and look forward to working with you as we continue to strengthen this command and fulfill our mission. No one achieves a milestone like this alone. To my husband, Sean, although you're not able to be here today, I want to thank you for your unwavering love, support, and sacrifice throughout my career. Your strength and your encouragement has helped me make this moment possible. While you're not here in person, your presence is felt throughout this ceremony. To my son, Chandler, thank you for sharing your mom with the Navy. Your resilience, understanding, and love inspire me daily. I am incredibly proud of the young man you are becoming, and I hope my service demonstrates the importance of integrity, commitment, and service to others. To my family, friends, mentors, shipmates, thank you for your support, guidance, encouragement, and friendship throughout the years. Your investment in me has helped me shape both the person and the leader I am today. As I assume command, I believe leadership begins with people. My responsibility as commanding officer is to ensure that our sailors are ready, supported, and empowered to succeed. Mission accomplishment will always depend on the strength, the development, and well-being of our team. We will invest in our people, foster a culture of trust and accountability, and create opportunities for every sailor to grow both personally and professionally. We will maintain the highest standards of readiness, train with purpose, and ensure that every sailor develops the skills and confidence necessary to execute our mission whenever called upon. At the same time, we will remain committed to building resiliency, supporting the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being of our team. At EMF Mike, our motto is simple but powerful: preserve life. Those two words define who we are and why we exist. They guide every decision we make, every skill we develop, and every exercise we conduct, and every mission we execute. To preserve life, we must remain ready to assist anywhere and dedicated to the world-class care anytime. Whether responding to combat operations, humanitarian assistance missions, natural disasters, or global contingencies, we must be prepared to deploy at a moment's notice and provide exceptional care in the most challenging environments. Preserving life means requiring readiness. It requires teamwork. It requires resiliency. Most importantly, it requires sailors who are trained, confident, and committed to something greater than themselves. Together, we will continue building a command that is people-centered, mission-focused, and always ready to answer at our nation's call. Today, we will ensure that EMF Mike remains ready to preserve life anytime and anywhere. As your commanding officer, I commit to leading with integrity, humility, accountability, and respect. I will work every day to earn your trust and to ensure that EMF Mike remains a command where people thrive, readiness is paramount, and excellence is the standard. I am honored to serve alongside each of you as we begin this next chapter together. Thank you for your confidence, your support, your presence here today. May God continue to bless our sailors, our families, our Navy, and the United States of America. Today, together, we will preserve life. Thank you.
Captain Fitzpatrick, could you please rise and come to attention?
Captain Fitzpatrick, carry out the orders of the day.
Captain Malloy will now join Captain Pyles center stage for retirement honors. Captain Malloy now present Captain Pyles with his Edgar Shore Award. Attention to award. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Legion of Merit to Captain Jeremy S. Pyles, Medical Service Corps, United States Navy, for exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service while serving as Commanding Officer, Expeditionary Medical Facility 150 miles from Jacksonville, Florida, from August 2024 to June 2026. Captain Pyles directed daily operations for a 450-member command, ensuring direct alignment with Navy Medicine strategic objectives. Mission focus, he partnered with Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command Jacksonville on resource sharing initiatives, directly increasing training opportunities and improving coordination, leading to enhanced operational readiness for both commands. His actions resulted in advanced sustainment readiness status while supporting graduate medical education programs and over 2,400 staff across 3 states. A Get Real, Get Better champion, he shattered previous readiness metrics, boosting fit and available personnel by 12% and catapulting critical skill reporting from a mere 4% to a sustained 93%. His efforts directly bolstered the command's deployable force and guaranteed operational readiness to meet critical mission requirements. Captain Pyles' superior performance of his duties culminated his 31 years of honorable and dedicated military service. By his dynamic direction, keen judgment, and loyal dedication to duty, Captain Pyles reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the President, signed, Inmate Schwartz, Senior Executive Service, Director, Navy Staff. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The Chief's Mess would now like to present a gift of appreciation to Captain Pyles.
Okay. Sir, on behalf of the Chief Mess, we offer this as a token of our gratitude of your leadership and your efforts of turning EMF Mike into the best EMF within UMed. And you did it through leading your philosophy of doing the best you can with what you have. And we wish you fair winds and following seas. And may God continue to bless you and your family on this next chapter.
Thank you. Chief Mess, thank you so much. I'm speechless. Wow. It's not a cake, right? No. Okay.
Okay.
At this time, letters of appreciation will now be presented to Captain Pyles' wife, his son Zachary Nolan, and his mother Cheryl, by Captain Malloy for their support to Captain Pyles' naval career. It reads, to all that shall see these presents, greetings.
Greetings!
By the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for your unselfish, faithful, and dedicated service during your spouse's 31-year naval career. Your unfailing support and understanding helped immensely to make your spouse's life a lasting contribution to the nation. Given this 12th day of June 2026, signed, Chief Malloy, Commander, Navy Medicine, Readiness, Training, and National and Director of Naval Office, Jackson.
Thank you for sharing your son for 31 years. You're welcome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Expeditionary United Facility 155 presents its greatest commanding officer in its glorious history. He is the St. Leo Lions' most famous graduate in its 137-year history. It is my honor to present Captain Jeremy S. Pyles, Medical Service Corps in the United States Navy.
All right, good morning, everyone. Wow. Now, first of all, I'm speechless with the gift there from the Chief's Mess. So thank you so much. Thank you. I love it. I love it. All right. Here we are. Captain Malloy, Captain Brown, Captain Polk, Master Chief Willie, family, friends, and guests. Good morning, and thank you so much for being here today to celebrate this milestone with me and my family. First, allow me to express my sincerest thanks to everyone who helped coordinate and participate in today's ceremony. I know a lot of time and effort has been spent on preparation and practice. Your efforts and contributions are deeply appreciated. Secondly, congratulations to you and your family, Cecilia. I know getting back to Jacksonville is very important to you. I hope you enjoy your tour as the CEO of what is recognized in Navy medicine as the best damn EMF in the enterprise. No doubt the passion you have displayed will only propel the command to even greater heights and further raise the standard of what EMS should be. As I stand here looking back on a career that has spanned over 3 decades, it feels like just yesterday that I first put on this uniform. 31 years is a long time. This journey has taken me around the world through incredible highs and challenging lows, and has shaped me into the person I am today. For quick reference, when I enlisted, Bill Clinton was president. The O.J. Simpson trial captivated America. The Macarena went viral.
Stop.
Toy Story was the very first computer animated film, which this summer, I think the 5th one's about to come up. Starbucks Frappuccino was first released. And Amazon sold its very first item, which was a book online. Crazy. And in preparation for this moment, I spent a lot of time reflecting. While it's impossible to recount everything, I'd like to share a few of the most significant moments and questionable decisions. I say that because you'll hear it, you'll like, I was part of the reason why the human factors canceled.
Yeah.
That shaped the person standing before you today. It all started in the summer of 1995 at Recruit Training Command Great Lakes. It was a confusing world of more rules, and well, just most rules. I quickly learned the importance of attention to detail, driven entirely by a healthy, paralyzing fear of the recruit division commanders, or as they were called, the Red Ropers. We all learned to dread the word recruit. Drop! You knew the second you heard it, you were about to pay for your mistakes with 8-count bodybuilders until the floor was covered in sweat and regret. But even amidst the discipline, there was levity. There was a unique joy in hearing RDCs hurl incredibly creative insults at you and your shipmates, and even simpler joy in pizza nights and phone calls home. Marching in front of my family, I Graduation as the honor grad for my recruit class was a moment of immense pride. Unfortunately, that pride was quickly followed by an extended stay in boot camp purgatory, also known as the Transient Personnel Unit, or TPU, waiting for my orders to corps school. Every day was a cycle of anticipation and disappointment until finally my name was called. I stayed at Great Lakes Corps School, where I learned to be a hospital corpsman and received my first real taste of a Chicago winter. I can still vividly recall walking backwards from the galley to the barracks just to shield my face from the painful wind chill. There were new freedoms, but also harsh life lessons. I learned about personal security the hard way when someone stole my 2 weeks' pay of $400 in cash from my unsecured locker, leaving me to borrow money just to eat until the next payday. Despite the setback, I managed to become honor grad again, which meant I got my choice of orders. Oddly, Naval Branch Health Clinic Key West was on the list and caught my eye. But instead, I chose Advanced Lab Tech School in Bethesda, thinking I might want to be a physician assistant one day. Little did I know, Margaret Thatcher baseball. Margaret Thatcher baseball. That's a reference to Austin Powers to kind of get himself back into, get locked in. Little did I know, this was not the last time I would hear about Key West. In 1996, Bethesda was a year of growth, diversity, and terrible financial decisions. Talk about the sweet ride. I picked up HM3 shortly after classing up, but despite my past academic success, I struggled in lab school. The sudden influx of freedom combined with a total lack of appreciation for studying meant I barely scraped by. Tired of bumming rides or taking the metro everywhere, I decided it was time to buy a car. Entered a brand new, pearl white, 1996 Ford Escort. I bought it with zero money down, a whopping 15% interest rate. Oh, but it was a sweet ride. It was a 4-banger stick shift, complete with mag rims, a CD player, and a spoiler. The spoiler was definitely necessary for all the horsepower. The reality of being broke hit hard after my first car and insurance payment. I was literally using loose change from my corn jar to pay for meals in the galley. I eventually was able to refinance through Navy Federal and took a part-time job at Chili's, which I probably focused on a little too much, hence my costume struggles. When orders came, I was slotted for Bryant, Connecticut. Honestly, I was devastated. I just wanted to be somewhere warm. But then on my birthday, my class advisor called me with a miracle. My orders had changed to Naval Branch Health Clinic Key West. I packed everything I owned in a tricked out white Escort and drove south. All right. Arriving in Key West in the summer of '97 was the ultimate turning point in my career and my life. My new LPO greeted me with, "Welcome aboard. Here's your tuition assistance request form. College classes start in 2 weeks." The only response I had was IIH1 and started taking evening classes to complete my bachelor's. Margaret Thatcher, basically. I gave him permission to haze me so I, snap out if I need to, all right? All right, but the real game changer was not finishing college, even though that was important, obviously. It was a local girl named Seth Bureau. We met through mutual friends, and I asked her if she wanted to go see a movie. She said yes, and fate took over from there. From that moment, we were inseparable. I got just one tweak to your remarks. So much so that I proposed to her 2 weeks later, after that first date, in the parking lot of the old dog track on Stock Island. And then 2 weeks after that, we eloped at the Key West Courthouse. So 4 weeks, not 2. So next month, we celebrate our 20th anniversary. All right, honey, thank you for saying yes. You are my best friend, my boo, my ride or die. Thank you for your unwavering love and sacrifice for these past 20 years. I love you, and I can't wait to see where our next chapter takes us. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Key West is also where I picked up HM2 and finished my bachelor's degree. With an assertive push from HM1, Charles or Chuck Wiley, I submitted my commissioning package. It was selected through the Medical Service and Service Procurement Program. I was commissioned to the rank of ensign on May 1st, 2000. Sadly, we lost Senior Chief Wiley, retired Senior Chief Wiley, this past December. But I'll be forever grateful for his mentorship. He simply refused to let me waste my potential. As a brand new ensign, my young bride and I headed to Yokosuka, Japan. The first year was honestly rough. I felt I had more in common with the enlisted sailors than my fellow junior officers, and it took me a while to adjust to my new role. Lisette and I faced our own deep personal heartbreak during this time and during failed pregnancies and the terrifying ordeal of almost losing Lisette to a ruptured ectopic pregnancy. But we held on to each other, we persevered. I was fortunate, I was promoted to Lieutenant JAG, awesome, and finally found my stride as an officer. From Japan, we headed to New Orleans in 2003 for recruiting duty. We bought our first house, fell in love with New Orleans food, culture, the French Quarter, and Mardi Gras. I even bought my first guitar and began my journey of someday becoming a beach bar troubadour, paid in tips and beer. The recruiting gig taught me about initiative because I was pretty much my own boss, and it forced me to become more comfortable with public speaking. It was also where I forced my philosophy of doing the best you can with what you have. Because honestly, recruiting during that time, you talk about OEF, OIF, also the economy was strong during that time. It was incredibly difficult to convince healthcare students and professionals to join the Navy. Lisette and I were overflowing with optimism when we finally got pregnant through IVF and she made it safely into her second trimester. And then Hurricane Katrina hit. The devastation of losing our home was immense. We were displaced to Tallahassee. Jason, thank you to you and your family for putting us up that for quite an extended stay. But amidst all the chaos, a light appeared. Our son Zachary was born a month early, just days after we moved back to the New Orleans area. So Zach, thank you for your military service as a military child. You've sacrificed so much for your old man following me around the world. I hope the resilience you've learned pushes you to chase your own dreams and build a family based on the love and values your mom and dad tried to instill in you. Love you, bud.
Love you too.
Next up was toward the Mid-IG at Bethesda, where I spent 3 years on the road, inspecting units attached to Navy medicine. Sticking to my track record of brilliant financial timing, I bought a house at the absolute peak of the market in 2006 and almost immediately went underwater significantly. Underwater means you owe more on your house than it's worth. Luckily, we were able to sell the house a few years later with our finances still intact and nothing more than a lesson learned. Then came what was supposed to be my deployment to Afghanistan. On literally my last day with the Mid-IG, I was at the old PMED headquarters checking out when my detailer called to say the mission was canceled. I wasn't thrilled because I wanted to deploy. I told my detailer I was heading to Key West because our plans were Lisette and Zach to be around her family while I was gone. The next day, my detailer called and said, "Good news, I got you on the next mission to Afghanistan, and by the way, I'm going to station you in Key West." We're so excited to get the chance to go back home. I was fortunate enough to bask in the sunshine and good vibes of the Keys for a few weeks before it was time to start my pre-deployment training in Fort Polk, Louisiana. It was at Fort Polk where I bonded with a group of outstanding sailors who I would serve my entire deployment with. We were affectionately known as the Wookiees. That year downrange was simultaneously the worst time of my career due to the danger, the constant danger and being away from my family. But at the same time, it was the best time because of the absolute unbreakable camaraderie of my team. After a joyful homecoming and reintegration, we headed this time to Okinawa, Japan in 2011, which became our family's favorite duty station because of its sense of community and how easy it was to build closer relationships with our neighbors. We made wonderful memories, lifelong friends there, and shout out to Lisette's Wind Down girls, who still get together every year. Then it was on to Dayton, Ohio in 2014, where I received a swift punch in the gut. I was passed over for 05. It stung, but I recovered and picked it up the next cycle. Dayton also brought one of the biggest shocks of our family's lives. After years of believing IVF was our only option, I was at work when the set sent me a picture of a text of a positive pregnancy test with a highly profound 3-letter text, WTF. Despite some scares, our curly-haired kid, Nolan, was born on our anniversary, July 2nd. Nolan, you're such a cool and fun kid. You constantly keep your mom and me on our toes, usually pitching us your latest business idea or showing off your new fashion trip. Although we don't want to rush it, we can't wait to see you grow into what we know is going to be an impressive young man. Love you, dude. All right. A short fuse OIC tour in Albany, Georgia, followed in 2017, brings some of the darkest days of my career over those first 9 months. But I realized those days were a blessing, truly were, because I'm absolutely certain I wouldn't be standing here today without them. I learned about servant leadership, the importance of relationships, emotional intelligence, and not trying to be the leader I wanted to be, but the leader my team needed. From there, we headed back to the Midwest in the middle of COVID, this time to Great Lakes at the Level Federal Healthcare Center. There, I learned exactly what toxic leadership looks like. I carry that experience with me, promising myself that if I ever made it to command, it would never be about me. It would always be about the mission and the people. It was also there I picked up 06. The cool thing about that moment was I was promoted to captain with the same group of peers who had been promoted to 05, the year that I failed to select. So to me, it felt like the universe righted itself, and my hard work and dedication had been validated. In late 2022, we went to Whidbey Island, Washington, for another short fuse tour, this time as XO. I loved the job, but we quickly realized the Pacific Northwest is not for us. We are die-hard Floridians. We need sunshine, not 9 months of great drizzle. But it served a purpose. It showed me that I'd seen enough of the world to know exactly where home was. Eager to get back to Florida, I had made up my mind that I would retire following what I expected to be my CEO tour. That decision was completely solidified when I found out our destination was here in Jacksonville. And that brings us to today. It's been an absolute privilege and honor to work with my powerhouse team here. To the sailors of the EMF, as well as those civilians and contractors that indirectly or directly supported us. It's been an absolute honor to be your CEO. Thank you for your dedication and support to both the EMF and NMRTC missions. Keep up the great work and never lose sight of the importance of being ready when you are called upon to go into harm's way, to care for and treat your fellow service members fighting our adversaries in austere environments. To my tribe, Captain Bowden, who's currently just took over as CEO at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Command Master Chief Evans, where are you at? There you are. All right. Senior Chief Jenkins, where are you at? Pretty good. Where's Senior Chief? I don't see you. Oh, there you go. Thank you. All right, good. And most really, the Captain Fitzpatrick. I couldn't have asked for a better group of professionals to embrace my philosophy of doing the best we can with what we have. Captain Lloyd, Captain Ginger, Captain Volk, Command Master Chief Willie, thank you for the incredible support. I believe we have shown Navy medicine it is possible to embrace common sense and collaborate to work smarter and harder. Not harder, I'm sorry. And Craig, I'm so lucky we got paired up. I've gained a lifelong friend who occasionally works, but mostly just golfs and breaks bones doing routine chores around the house. Love you, brother.
You too.
Because of all of you, I can take this uniform off knowing I left Navy Medicine and EMF Mike better than I found it. It's been an incredible ride, and I'm deeply grateful to everyone who shared it with me. Most of all, to the set, Zach and Nolan, thank you for being my anchor. I am officially signing off, and I can't wait to get down to mile marker O to see what our next chapter holds. Now, before I go, I want to leave you with a quote from Mr. Jimmy Buffett that sums up how I feel about saying goodbye and moving on. Oh, yesterday's are over my shoulder, so I can't look back for too long. There's just too much to see waiting in front of me, and I know that I just can't go wrong. With these changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes, nothing remains quite the same. With all of my running and all of my cunning, if I couldn't laugh, I just would go insane. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, Captain Pyles. Lieutenants, please rise for the Old Glory presentation. Flag detail. Attention. Sidestep. Right. Close.
Mark time. Mark. Ready. Halt.
I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am saluted. I am respected. I am revered. I am loved and I am feared. I have fought in every battle, every war, for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forts, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and scores of places long forgotten by all, except by those who were there with me. I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired. But my sailors and Marines cheered me, and I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th as cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes of once proud buildings by brave firefighters, heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloody, will never be forgotten. Those who would destroy me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it's by those who I have served with in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome. For I am strong. I have split the soily bonds of earth, and I am from the vantage point on the moon. I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hours comes when I am torn into strips, to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, when I am thrown half-mast to honor my fallen soldiers, and when I lie in trembling arms of a grieving mother at the grave site of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God. My God, long may I wave.
The national anthem being presented to Captain Pyles' wife was set in stone of the Naval Air Station, Key West. Flag detail. Right, face. And salute. Ready, two. Left, face. Post. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Flag detail. Post. At this time, we will carry out the time-honored tradition, the watch ceremony.
Listen, as I take you on a journey. For 31 years, this sailor stood to watch. While some of us was in our bunks, late at night, this sailor stood to watch. While some of us was in school, learning a trade, this sailor stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us was born into this world, this sailor stood the watch. In those years, when the storm clouds of war was seen brewing on the horizon of history, this sailor stood the watch. Many a times, he would cast an eye ashore, seeing his family standing there, needing his help, needing his guidance, needing his hand to hold on to during those hard times, but he still stood the watch. For 31 years, he stood the watch so that we, our family members, and our fellow countrymen can sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing a captain stood the watch. Today, sir, we are here to say your watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, relieved by those you have guided, relieved by those you have led. Sir, you stand relieved. We have the watch.
Bosun, post the side boys.
Post the side boys eye. Side boys. That's in. Up. Left or right. Face.
EMF Mike, NMRTC Jacksonville. Attention! Will the class of crews rise for the benediction and remain standing for the departure honors and the playing of the Navy and Marine Corps hymns. Chaplain Underdown will now offer the benediction.
In the spirit of thanksgiving and celebration, may all of us receive this blessing and benediction. Gracious God, remind us of your presence that goes with and before us each and every day. May your presence surround Captain Brown in this new charge, and Captain Pyles in the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. Oh God, may your strength sustain us, your power preserve us, your hands protect us, and your peace comfort each of us this day and in the days to come. Amen.
Captain Pyles will now request permission to go ashore for the very last time.
Skipper Malloy, respectfully request permission to go ashore.
Permission granted, shipmate. Well done.
Thank you.
Time orderly. Strike 4 bells. Captain, United States Navy, retired, departing. It has become customary following retirement for the family to be piped ashore, honoring them for their contributions to their sailor's career. Time order. Strike 4 bells. Captain, United States Navy, retired, and family, departed. Time order. Strike 4 bells. Commanding officer, Expeditionary Facility 150 Mike, departing. Command Jacksonville and Director, Naval Hospital Jacksonville, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for your attendance. Captain Brown would like to invite everyone to Fellowship Hall for the reception.